Hi, you guys. Welcome back to another episode of A Lot of You Have Been Asking. I am coming at you live from New York City, not SNL, but I am with a celebrity guest, celebrity of sorts. My girl Cameron Rogers is here. Hi, Cam.
Hi.
Welcome to the podcast.
I'm so excited. I love being a guest.
Is it fun being a guest on a
so much
podcast? Because
easier.
you host your own podcast.
Yeah, being a guest, you just get to talk. Like, you don't have to think about the direction of the conversation, what you're going to ask next, whether it's flowing the way you want it to flow. You just get to yap, 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 and then see the other person's problem.
And we definitely yapped on our last episode.
Yap.
We did a pod swap for those of you that don't know the business terminology. It's when two creators just like swap podcasts, swap stories. Swap spit, essentially.
We made out.
So make sure after this to go listen to Cam's podcast with me as the guest.
Yes, it'll be tomorrow.
We did a lot of chatting about a lot of different things.
So many different things.
But I'm excited to chat with you about you.
Okay.
Because you have we've known each other for a while now. We go back, way back.
Mm-hmm.
When I was managing people, I reached out to you to manage. You said no.
Okay,
you moved on.
I love you.
But now you are absolutely killing it. You're a creator, podcaster, mom, entrepreneur,
you did it.
all of the things. I don't know how you're keeping your head on straight with all that.
You're doing basically the exact same
Not
thing.
with children.
Yeah, well, I have a village.
Yeah.
Literally, that's how. Like, straight up.
You talk a lot about the village, though.
It's vital.
Yeah.
Like, I really don't understand. Obviously, people do it without villages.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying you can't, but I mentally would have a much harder time. Yeah. Like, my village is my lifeline.
Yeah, I get that. I think like my parents, like my family is definitely a village, especially just, I mean, even this week, like watching Turk, watching my dog, it's a combined effort. So I can only imagine adding real human lives to that.
Yes, but I do think that like having a dog before kids is very helpful because it's the first experience of caring for someone outside of yourself and prioritizing someone else.
Yeah, a lot of people say that. Like
I really think it helped us.
And I'm like interested to see how it carries. Do you think that like with your dog, did each of you have like a personality, and then with the children, did it transfer over to that? Like, is someone more of the like the authoritarian or like the stricter parent, and someone else is more like lax?
I would say neither of us are that. Actually, I guess I'm kind of strict. I don't know. Like, we each have our moments. There are certain things that each of us care about where the other one really doesn't. So we're pretty—
You complement each other well.
Yeah, we complement each other where it's not like one is a pushover and one is strict at all.
Okay.
Our older son will ask me something, and then when I say no, turn right in front of me and be like, "Dad, can I?" And he's like, "Dude, you're going to get the same answer Mom just gave you."
Yeah, right. Especially in front of me.
He just watched it all happen.
Yeah.
He is already starting to pick up on that. And it's happened once where it worked in his favor because we hadn't communicated. He just went behind each other's back. But I wouldn't say that one of us like lays down the law and is the authoritarian.
Yeah.
It's really just dependent on the topic at hand. And we each have things that like trigger us way more that we really care about, and other things that we can just be like, yeah, whatever.
I feel like you have a lot of good advice and are so open online about your life and your marriage, your family. Have you always been like an open book?
Always.
Like you're just like, I'm just going to share what's on my mind at all times?
Yeah. Unfortunately, for some, like, yes.
Like sometimes it gets me in trouble.
No, sometimes it absolutely gets me in trouble. I think growing up, I don't know where this like instilled confidence came from. Clearly my parents, I don't know, where I just always spoke my mind.
Yeah.
And it did definitely bite me in the ass when I was younger because people would say, "Oh, she's so mean," but I just can't be fake.
Yeah. You said it like it was.
I think it's nicer if I don't like someone to just not engage with them than to talk shit about someone and then be like, "Oh my God, I love your skirt."
Yeah.
Like we're just not going to talk, and that's fine. I'm not going to be like, "Fuck you" to your face unless you mess with a friend of mine.
Yeah, I think it's normal.
Yeah, I don't know. That's how I always was.
That's why we get along.
Yeah. That's how I always was, and I always just really spoke my mind. And I've always been like, this is what you get. Take it or leave it.
Hey, it's brought you far.
I hope so.
I mean, it's brought you far in your content journey.
Yeah.
Like when you started sharing your life online, what was that like? Like, what was the process?
Well, I think this is something I've learned is I naturally overshare, where if it's my story, I'm not embarrassed by anything.
Yeah, like I'll tell you
I will
everything.
say anything to people. And that's how I've always been. So it's always come organically to me. And that's how I was with my platform. And I still am. But in the beginning, it was very much just like everything.
Unedited, unfiltered.
And then as I started to grow, I started to notice, I actually kind of have to be a little bit more protective over things, like especially people in my life.
Yeah.
And, I started to pull back on what I shared about my family. And I mean, now my children, I just feel way more protective of their privacy the more I've grown.
Because they're not signing up for this
absolutely
line
not.
of work. Yeah, it's your job.
Right. So I've always been very open about my thoughts, my feelings, what's happening with me, and more now protective over the people in my life. And I was actually thinking about that this morning or yesterday in therapy, where I was dissecting something in my life. And it's intense and deep and dark. And she asked me, like, well, do you talk about this at all in your content? And I said, no, my God, no, I would never touch this.
Yeah.
And it made me realize how even creators who you feel share everything,
Have
you
so much they're keeping
never
close to the
know
chest.
the full story of anything.
Yeah.
Because you are getting such a small glimpse into their life. And I don't say that in a way of like, no one's sharing the real truth.
Yeah,
it's the
people
fact
are
that,
sharing the real.
We're allowed to keep things to ourselves.
Oh, 100%. You have to keep your sanity.
Yeah, and you just never fully know a whole story. And I say that to remind yourself when you catch yourself comparing of like, they live this perfect life and everything's so amazing.
Yeah.
You never fully know.
You don't. What is your origin story in sharing online on social media? Like when did you? Because I know you were the freckled fruity.
Yeah.
That's how when I started following you. Bring me back.
I had to give my LLC name to like Verizon on the phone the other day. And I was like, freckled foodie. And she was like, that's so cute. What are you, a restaurant? Do you have freckles? And I was like, how do I explain to you what I do?
Let me bring you
Not
back to the beginning.
It started, very long story short, I was working at JP Morgan in sales and trading, completely different life. And I was dealing with a bunch of digestive health issues, which then caused me to go on all these elimination diets. I simultaneously was like spending so much money in New York City on food. And I then started to make my own meals.
Okay.
And I started to meal prep like very intensely for my job, because I was just working insane hours. And I would text my friends what I made and they'd ask me for the recipe. And I'm like, I don't know. I just kind of whipped this together. And it was the first time I actually cooked. Like I grew up in a house that loved food, but we weren't the family meals cooking together. We were eating spaghetti meatballs out of Tupperware in the back of my mom's Suburban, driving to the three of the daughters' practices.
For sure.
Like that was my childhood. The origination of meal prep was my mom. And
of course, the queen.
The queen. So that was kind of how it started. It was the birth era of like food porn accounts and kind of the wellness influencer. There were like 6 wellness influencers that everyone knew, like those like OGs. So this was 2016 to date it.
No Instagram stories.
No
were not
Instagram
a thing.
stories.
Like it was you were posting with like Valencia on the filter. Yeah.
And so I started posting not my face. You would never know it was me under the pseudonym Freckled Foodie.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want anyone at work. Like I just wanted to keep it separate. I had a very like big girl job and I didn't want them to like think less of me, quite honestly.
Yeah, it's going to be like, why is she posting
like what is going
online?
on? So it was all food. It was about like meal prep. And then I just became really obsessed with the creative outlet of it. And I also was struggling with orthorexia at the time. So I became a little too obsessed with the food element of it all. And I started sharing more and more and more. But again, it was just, I think stories became available, but it wasn't video stories.
Yeah, it was just pictures.
And then, I felt like every time a door closed or every time a door opened, there were like all these other doors behind it, but I didn't have the time to open them. I was in school to become a health coach online. I was meal prepping for all of my friends on the weekend. I actually just got an email from my best friend that she found of like me sending me their menu for the week. And I would cook all weekend long. I would photograph it.
That's crazy.
I would deliver it to their apartments. Like, what the hell I was doing? I don't know where the energy came from. I guess it was like filling my time before I had kids. Then I actually got hit by a car. Well, yeah, I know. It's like such a random fact, but it plays such a huge role in the story. I got hit by a car.
This I did not know.
While I was crossing the street.
Okay.
And I had my like 6th concussion and it was really bad. And I was on disability from work. And it was in this moment where I was like, I have everything I ever wanted. I have this great job that everyone dreams of who's an economics major. I have this boyfriend who I love. I have this great apartment. I have all my friends in New York. And I feel so deeply alone and isolated and anxious and depressed. And my job was so great, but it also like turned the dial up on all of my intensities.
The anxieties.
And like the competitiveness, the fast pace, the like go, 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 go. If you're not talking fast enough, I'm not listening. And I came to this realization of like, I'll never be this young again. I have no responsibility. I come from a privilege to like have been able to save money and take this leap of faith. So I quit my job with, I wish I had the exact number. I don't think I had 5,000 followers.
Yeah.
Like I made no money off of my account. The goal was to health coach and to meal prep and to have a food blog.
Passion project.
Well, I thought I think at the time I wrote out a business plan of like I could make a salary off of this, but never in a million years did I think it would be what it is now in terms of money, but also in terms of content.
There wasn't a blueprint back then of like you can do this to earn X amount of money.
Also, like influencer wasn't really a thing then.
Bloggers were the thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that was what I set off to do. My boss looked at me like I had 10 heads. And I was like, bye.
Like, you're leaving this job to
like,
be a blogger?
Literally. I sat him down and I was like, so, and he was like, you're going to Goldman. And I was like, no. I'm actually going to go like take pictures of food.
Yeah, right.
He was like, what does your husband do? That was his first question.
Really?
Remind me what your husband does?
Of course, a man would ask
fuck
that.
You. He doesn't, like, I was the breadwinner at the time. I was like, he had a stable job, but it wasn't like he was going to like afford my life. Anyway, jokes on him.
Yeah.
But so then I was doing that. So I was health coaching. I was like cooking for New York City, like upper class people in their apartment, making all these meals, stuck in their fridge, like Wishbone Kitchen, like such sub-tier version. And I want to be very clear.
No, I'm sure it was very good though.
No.
Way better than
sub-tier version. And it was at that moment after I started to then share about like my mental health on my platform. And I would do these things called unfiltered days on the first day of the month where I would show my face on my stories and I would answer Q&As. And I had just committed, if I was going to do this, I will always show up as myself. I will never be like, oh, I need to look a certain way or have makeup on or a good background because I'll never show up online.
Yeah, totally.
Like that's not how I live
reality.
my life.
Yeah.
And that started to really resonate with my community. And that's when I started to grow my community. And I was like, oh, this interests them more. I find it more fun. I love to talk.
Yeah.
And I don't love this like client service industry in their home staff.
Like the servicing of it all. Yeah.
So I took another leap of faith about like 8 months after I quit my job to be like, let's see if I can do content full time. And here we are.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
So that was 2018.
And now we're 7 years later.
Can't do math.
You've popped out some kids since then.
Yeah. Life has changed. Content has changed.
Like, so in those years between grinding and building your following online to becoming a mother.
Yeah.
What was that like?
Well,
because it was probably a constant, just like, it's a different type of grind. You were working at JP Morgan. You were in the office like hours and hours a day. You're just now solo entrepreneuring yourself.
Yeah.
Kind of raw dogging it.
I sat down with, this was the year we were engaged. And we've been together for, at that point, 7 years. And I sat him down because we were about to get married. So we were about to like join finances. Right.
Conversation.
And I said, I really want to take this leap of faith. And I remember Joe saying to me, look, if you were someone who all weekend long just like vegged out on the couch and watched TV and I had to get you to do anything, I think this would be concerning. But you literally never stop. And I have complete faith that you'll figure this out. And I think my work ethic, obviously there's so much privilege that goes into all of this. I am like the first to acknowledge that. And I have a really, really strong work ethic. And so I fucking grinded my ass off and just took every opportunity and said yes to everything once and then decided if I want to say yes again, which I think is important.
The best way to learn is just to be a sponge.
You have to try. And grinded and grinded and grinded and grinded. And I think the content evolved with a mix of what I found my community engaged with the most and what I enjoyed. And over time, you'll notice if you look at my platform, like food is not at all on it anymore. And I think that's just because my relationship with food changed so much where I don't actually think about it. I don't care about it. It's not at all what I want to run my life. And other things completely took over that brain space, being a mom and my children, and also the conversation around mental health and postpartum and how to support moms. And so that's definitely where the content focuses now.
Yeah. And I feel like throughout it, you've just been very authentically you, and that's what resonates with people. Because I think I probably started following you maybe like, I want to say like 2019 maybe.
Probably, because it was right before our conversation.
And it was right before, it was
pre-COVID.
Yeah, pre-COVID. And I feel like I was working a job that I loved, but again, wasn't creatively necessarily fulfilling me. And you talked very openly about that. So I like resonated with that. You've talked about like your mental health struggles. Like,
there's a lot of them. The list is long.
No, have you seen that meme when it's like, do you have a history of mental illness? Yes. It's like this conversation. Yeah. But talk about like being open about that online, because it's very scary, I think, for a lot of people to discuss their mental health online, because there's so much criticism that can come with sharing anything online.
Yeah. I think for me, again, just always being someone who has felt comfortable sharing whatever they're experiencing, whether it's what we're doing in their bedroom or what's happening in my brain. Like I've just always been the friend that says everything. You will never have to guess what I'm thinking. Sometimes I could probably do a better job of not doing that. But when it came to my mental health, I've always been someone who struggled with anxiety. I just didn't have the language or the knowledge
to deal with it.
To know when I was younger. And then it was post-college that I started to really realize, oh, this is why I feel hot all over my body and like I want to cry and jump out a window, like scream and escape.
Yeah.
And that knowledge and then wherewithal to like verbalize these emotions came from starting therapy. Yeah. Really like digging a little bit deeper and trying to figure out what was causing these things. And I just felt very natural to share it. It wasn't really something that I like deeply thought about.
Yeah, you weren't like,
I was just
should I
on
talk
my
about
stories
this?
being like, whoa, I'm really anxious today because blah, blah, blah. And I'm going to start anxiety medication. It was never should I not? It was just, and this is what's happening. And I noticed specifically around medication, I started in 2018. And I remember when I shared that I was going on medication online to like 2,000 followers maybe, and to my friends, I started to get all these messages of like, oh, I'm on medication, or my friends being like, yeah, I'm like, what? Why is no one talking about this?
Yeah, kind of open this dialogue.
What is happening?
Yeah.
Why are we all on meds and no one knows?
I feel like even like 6 or 7 years ago, though, people weren't as open about
Not
like,
at all.
the struggles that they were going through, like in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
Even when in like group chats, like it was just like it was something that you kept to yourself,
right?
Which I think is great that now we're all openly talking about it.
So
because
great.
So many kids now are dealing with all of these pressures and all of these things that we never talked about. Our parents never talked to us about that.
And my biggest thing was no matter what you're going through, you are not alone. And that was something I learned through my DMs with my community. I would say I was like dealing with something and I felt so isolated in those emotions. And then people would respond saying that they felt the same way. So it was like kind of self-serving.
Yeah, the power of online now.
Yes, but I noticed, oh, I'm not alone. And then I also created this community for people to feel less alone.
Yeah.
And I think, look, we're all going through different things. We all have different struggles. We all have different means of living and all of those things. But at the core, many of us are going through similar things. And especially now, I've just always shared about that journey, whether that be with postpartum depression or postpartum anxiety or ADHD. I've just felt very comfortable sharing that. I don't feel like it's a flaw. I don't feel embarrassed by it.
Yeah.
It just is reality.
It's part of who you are.
Yeah. I think that the only thing that I really feel sometimes vulnerable or like can be around motherhood.
Because everyone
has a fucking opinion.
People love to attack mothers online.
Love. People love nothing more.
It's such a weird fetish of people's.
It's so fucking weird.
Yeah.
It's really fucking weird.
Yeah.
And I remember there have been times where I've shared honest truths around my experience with motherhood and then people being like, you shouldn't have fucking had kids or you hate your kids. And I'm like, how do I explain to you that like this is my favorite thing in the world and I love my kids more than literally anything. And I would like to go away alone for 2 nights and never hear them.
Yeah.
Like those two
things can be true at once.
So I think that's the only thing. I've gotten through that now, but I think right after I had my first, I was brutally honest and I dealt with a little bit of that feedback and that was hard for me to navigate in real time. I feel way much less of that vulnerability now, but that's the one thing I think that had sparked.
Do you think that's also because you decided to not share your kids on social media? Like when was that a decision that you had when you got pregnant? Was it something that you learned as you
when I got pregnant, I knew I never wanted my kids to be the face of my platform. Like that was always, I felt strongly about that.
Yep.
My husband's a very private person, not on social media at all. So I also knew that he wasn't going to want our kids all over my page. And when I had my first son, I would sparingly share a photo of him.
Yep.
Maybe like 10 total on my grid at that time in a year. And I don't know what exactly shifted, but something in me was just like, no, people don't need to see your face.
Yeah.
I don't need to say your name online. People don't need to know the intricacies of when I'm potty training you or like what's happening.
Yeah.
And it's not that obviously I have children and my life revolves around them. So there are times it's a really fine line to walk of being like, my reality is that my house is covered in Buzz Lightyear and this is like an obsession right now.
Yep.
And we are all in on Buzz. But then I also want to protect him as a person. And I'm like, well, do they need to know what he cares about? So it's a constant figuring.
It's a fine line you're walking.
But I just felt like people were having parasocial relationships with my son, my first specifically. And that just made me feel weird. And it wasn't anything anyone did.
Yeah.
They were all well-intended. But it made me feel protective.
Well, we're seeing all these things now that are coming out about all these Netflix documentaries are dropping about these children that have been their lives. They've grown up online on social media. It makes you think about it. It's like, okay, I'm making the right decision.
So that's something I have very strong opinions about. It's one thing to like have your kid in photos and share them, but like to fully have them at the forefront of all of your content, reading lines in sponsored content, like setting up cameras for them 24/7, not allowing them to be children, that is fucked up.
Yeah.
Like I have a very strong opinion on that.
They're not a child actor.
No.
But they're acting like it.
Yeah. Like I just feel very
and I do
about
think
that.
too, I think people need to figure out, as creators, you need to figure out what works for you in your life.
Yeah.
But also you need to be cognizant of how you're portraying your children online.
Totally.
Because you never know who's watching your content.
Never. I do think about this sometimes where I'm like, are my kids going to be mad at me later in life that like I could be making them millions? Because let me tell you, when I say I have gold mines in these kids, like specifically no, I'm not kidding.
He's a character.
Like my older child is such a like method actor.
Yeah.
Those videos of him I have could be fucking viral.
Yeah.
And I say this to Joe, I'm like, he better not hate me when his bank account isn't like he could be fucking at the moon.
No, it's insane. I mean, you see these kids that are on social media now, like it can lead to really crazy things.
I know. I will say the kids show Bluey is a case study for how this can be done well.
Okay.
The voices
Tell me about it, 'cause I don't know
the voices of the kids, Bluey and Bingo, have never been released publicly.
Oh,
so no one knows who they are.
They're actual kids.
They're kids, but you don't know who they are.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So like cartoons.
Yeah. There is a way around
it. There is a way around it. Well, I've thought about it because my kid loves acting where I'm like, am I doing you a disservice?
Yeah. Is there something that I should be like tapping into?
Maybe. Who knows?
Well, it won't be online.
No.
And if they choose to be online when they're older.
I will not want my kids on social media.
Yeah. Yeah. Not even when they're 18, you'll be like, I don't want you to.
I would prefer them to never be on.
Yeah. Okay. That's why is that? Just because of the negativity that is surrounding social media, or
I think that, I just think the internet can really scare me. I've seen the dark sides of it, and I just feel hyper protective of my children, and I don't want them to experience that. I also think, no offense, because it's what we all do, it's such a mindless activity that's rotting our brains, and I'd prefer them to do everything possible to not be on their screens.
Yeah.
Like, we are a very limited screen family for the children.
Yeah.
I need to be better. But I want them like
on
playing outside
on
and doing things that aren't on their phone.
Yeah.
Like we
learn from our mistakes.
Yeah. Our childhood.
Yeah. It's true.
But I do feel like I've gotten dumber.
Yeah. I was put in front of the TV. Not put, but like a lot of my childhood was spent watching television shows.
We watched shows, but it wasn't the same. We didn't have access to everything 24/7.
It was on VHS or DVD.
Right. Like that's different. We let them watch a movie on a TV.
Yeah.
But like you can't have a tablet in your room with endless access. The world.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. It's a scary time to be a parent.
It's scary.
What's one of the things that you've like learned most from motherhood?
I would love to say patience, but my husband would tell you very differently. Literally the other day, I was like badgering my parents about a trip to Disney I'm trying to plan in the text. And my husband was like, God, I wonder where our first son got his lack of patience from. I would say the biggest thing it has taught me is how to care about people outside of myself. like I am a naturally, I think, kind of selfish person.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
and
we talked about that on
like
your
you
podcast.
have to be self-centered to do this kind of work.
Yeah, you do.
And I think it has really put things into perspective of the importance of caring for other people.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's forced me to care a lot more about the world.
Mm-hmm. What's going on
because of the impact it will eventually or already has on them. And it's also taught me to just give up control.
Yeah.
Because you can't.
Let go and let God.
You really can't.
You can't.
Like, my two kids are so different, and it taught me the greatest example, like sleep being the perfect thing. Like you can think you have this whole measured out plan and schedule and all this stuff, and it can work for one kid, and the other kid could be like,
completely
fuck
different.
You, hold my beer, let's party. And it just teaches you that you can't control.
Yeah, I'm going to struggle with that because
so hard.
I'm very type A, very control freak. Like I need to have like T's
Same.
crossed, I's dotted.
Having kids like literally took that right out of me.
It throws it all out the window.
I've gone from the most type A obsessive person to, I feel like, an organized type B, depending on who you ask.
Yeah. Depending on who you ask.
My family still won't let go of my like type A label, but I'm actually not.
Well, I feel like you can be type A in your work and type B like in your
Definitely,
real life.
I'm type A in my work.
Yeah, but type B in your real life.
Yeah,
where
I'm on it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've seen you on it. Wait, you mentioned Disney. Are you a Disney person?
Full fucking Disney mom.
Really?
Die hard.
So would you identify as a Disney adult?
No, I think it's two different things.
Okay, tell me the difference.
I would not
between
go
them.
to Disney without my children.
Okay. See, I like this.
So I loved Disney as a kid.
Okay.
So this is not surprising to me. Some of my friends are like very surprised by this. I'm not surprised at all. I loved Disney as a kid. I went like a large amount of times.
I'm not a fan of Disney. It's not my thing.
Okay, well, let me just tell you. We went
I'm
last
sure my kids
year
will disagree, but
with my children, and my kids are big Disney kids. Like Friday family movie nights, we will watch a Disney movie. It's all we're listening to in the cars.
Love
like
it.
we are performing morning, night, all day.
Yeah.
And like costumes, everything. So I was so excited for them to experience it. Like the excitement around watching your kids excited is unparalleled joy. And specifically, they were really into Cars at the time.
Yep.
So we stayed at the Cars Hotel.
Wow.
And it was like joy I've never witnessed
I didn't even
in my
know there
life.
was a Cars hotel.
Art of animation.
I haven't been
There's
to
a
Disney
section
in a
for
while.
Little Mermaid, a section for Lion King, a section for Finding Nemo, and a section for Cars. And they make it look like a full Radiator Springs. So like they have huge statues of the cars.
Okay, it's cool.
Like it was just so incredible.
Yeah.
And it was so expensive.
Oh
and
my
I
God.
don't care.
Yeah.
It was worth every goddamn penny. And we like did the whole day. It was joy like I've never experienced before.
Yeah.
We got home and you get an email that's like, you can book a 30% discount if you book within 7 days of leaving. And I was like,
That's
Joe,
crazy.
we have to do it right now.
That is a pyramid scheme.
And he's like, no, we don't. So we didn't. I'm not kidding. Every week since then, I've begged Joe, can we go back? Can we go back? Can we go back? Every week, my 4-year-old, Mommy, when do you think we're going to go back to Disney?
Did you enjoy it though, like as a vacation for yourself? Or were you like—
A vacation is never a vacation with children.
With children, yeah.
So yeah, that was probably the best vacation we've been on.
Yeah.
With kids.
Because they were thoroughly entertained.
They're entertained.
The entire
Like,
time.
yeah. Going to a beach vacation, I love the beach, but you're still on there. It's just
you're on
not a
there,
vacation.
yeah.
You're not laying on a beach reading.
Yeah. I don't know. I've always been of the mindset, I'm like, I can't go to Disney until my kids like beg me to go. Because
Well, I've created a monster.
It's all of my least favorite things. It's lines, it's people, it's just like—
Same.
Like,
Well, you pay a lot of money
you
to
pay a
skip
lot
the
of—
line.
Yeah, okay. But it's paying a lot of money. I'm like, should I be on a beach in Turks and Caicos? Should I be at—
Yeah, but you're still with kid. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, are my kids gonna like Europe or Disney? There's no fucking question. Okay, I'm sorry.
Take them to Europe, the Disneyland in Europe.
No, so I'm fully finagling a whole other trip.
Oh, yeah.
Around Christmas right now. And Joe's like, you were setting a crazy precedent to go twice a year.
Yeah, they would be expecting a lot.
Well, my goal is if I can tag Disney enough, they will
They'll
partner
sponsor
with
a
me and
partnership,
invite me. They do that.
They do. They have like a whole Disney family creators.
Yeah, I will
like—
never go on a cruise.
Oh, I would never go on a cruise.
Never.
No.
No.
Too many nightmares. Too like
Nope.
the confinement
That's where I
of it
draw the
all. What are some of your favorite vacation spots to go with just you, like without the kids?
Ooh. We're really big fans of the Cayman Islands recently.
Okay, never been.
Went there twice within the past like 4 years. Sans kids. Sans?
Sans? Yeah, sans.
Without,
Sans.
whatever.
Yeah, without them.
And love that. Love Turks and Caicos.
Turks and Caicos is my spot.
Love Turks and Caicos.
So
Where do you
adopted
stay?
our dog. We go to the, what's like the main
Grace
place
Bay.
called? Grace Bay Club.
So nice.
Yeah. Is that where you guys
So
stay?
nice, yeah.
Oh my God. I can't recommend it enough to people.
The best.
No, truly.
You know, Cindy.
Grace Bay Club, work with us.
Yeah, please. Oh, I've tried.
Yeah.
The diva Cindy, once when we were there, my mom, we walk from our room down to the beach and she's like in this beach cover up, whatever. We're all laying down. We're on one of the day beds. Joe and I are laying there. She's talking to us. She just pulls off her cover up and is ass naked. And she had forgotten to put on a fucking bathing suit. I'm like, are you kidding me? Joe's like, Cindy.
It's one thing to forget to put on a bathing suit. It's another thing to not feel it.
But that is
when
her
it's
world.
coming off.
She's in fucking Cindy land.
You're so close with your sisters.
So close.
And your mom, your whole family. Have you guys always been super close?
Always.
Or were you the sisters that were fighting? Like
yeah, of
beating
course.
the shit out of each
I think
other?
sisters always fight.
Over like a top from like Aeropostale or something?
Yeah, that was me and my younger sister, not me and my older sister. We went through phases of like who we were all fighting with, the three of us, because it's an age gap of 3 years above me and then 5 years below me. So they have a large age gap.
Yeah.
So there was a phase of life where they had like nothing really to connect on because like
one's
8
16
years is
and one's
so
8.
different.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then she would kind of act like her mom. And we would all kind of rotate fighting and like what the fights were about, but we're exceptionally close. My family is like in constant communication and cahoots. And honestly, like we're probably too obsessed with each other. But going back to like boundaries and stuff and not knowing the full story, this is something that I always find fascinating is that people have almost like created this storyline that my older sister and I aren't close.
Interesting.
Or that like she's not, because she's very private.
Yeah, she doesn't
And I'll be
wanna
like, do you want to be my TikTok? And she's like, no.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
And you respect that.
Like people forget that there's a choice to be in content.
Literally.
And so
and also, I feel like it does kind of come with age at some point. Like your younger sister is probably more,
of course, she's
chronically
more in it,
online or
chronically
knows,
online.
like, the
Maddie
things.
like is fucking smart and like no offense, Lucy, like Maddie like is like busy doing real shit.
Yeah.
And she just doesn't want to be on it, and that's fine. And I actually see her probably more than my younger sister because we live so close to each other, and I talk to them both equally, but I just don't share nearly as much about her because she doesn't want to.
Yeah.
So then people will be like, where is she? Why wasn't she there? And I was like, she's there.
Yeah.
She
so
just wasn't in the video.
A lot of people feel like they have like a right to dictate.
Or just like they forget that the world exists outside of the phone
The video,
lens.
yeah. That
Like I did a video
created.
at my cousin's wedding of what everyone was wearing, and I got all these messages like, "Why was your older sister there?" And I was like, "She was there.
She was there. She just didn't want to show her outfit and be in the video. Like that's okay.
Yeah.
That's
that's something that's like so interesting to me.
Yeah.
And she kind of loves that now. She's like
she has this
pariah.
persona.
Yeah. She does.
She probably feeds into it. She's like, I'm
She
such a diva.
She literally does. She's like, no, I like being like what's the word?
Like off the grid.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
She's like, I like being wanted. Like people want to know about me.
That's so interesting. And I feel like you have a lot of like creator friends that have become like in real life friends, I feel like.
I have a few.
Yeah. I feel like you have like from my perspective of what you post on what you post online. I mean, it feels like Emily.
Emily's
one
of my closest friends.
Megan.
We talk every day. Yes. Megan and I are also very close. Yeah.
There's a lot of stigmas and stereotypes in the influencer creator world. Yeah. Have you found that like you can find true friendships in it? Or
I think you can.
Or do a lot of them feel transactional? Like I'm sure we've all dealt with people that we like. Have you met people online and you're like, you are nothing?
Yes.
Like
yeah.
in person.
Yes. I have. I would say I did not become, and I mean this in the least annoying way in the world, I did not become a creator to like make friends.
Yeah.
I'm so blessed with so many incredible friends in my life.
Totally.
So have I found some incredible friends through this space? Yes. But I am not like signing up to go to every event and like I don't.
Totally.
My thing is when I'm like enjoying my time, I'm not on my phone.
Exact same.
So I love that I have majority of my life with my people
is offline.
Like when I'm hanging out with my girlfriends, we are not anywhere near TikTok or anything. And I'm so grateful that I have those people to like keep me rooted into reality, to humble me, quite honestly, because I can only imagine if you're like sucked up in the world of only spending time with creators, like
it just
it's easy to think that like you're the most important person in the world. And my friends humble the shit out of me.
And it's important.
It's important.
We need it.
They're like, what the fuck are you doing? What is that post? Like, you are not funny.
No.
So Yeah, I found a few. My thing is like I have a few really incredible quality friends, and then I'm good. Yeah. And I have many acquaintances who like if I see, I'm like, oh my gosh, how are you?
Yeah,
like
catch up.
Yeah, that's so great, catching up. But yeah, I would say Emily is definitely one I'm in constant communication with. And I will say it's so beneficial to have friends like that. Emily, Megan, like Carissa, Olivia, who I can text and be like, what did this brand pay you?
It's good to have like transparency with each other.
You need to know.
And to just know people in the business that like understand what, like we don't have coworkers.
No.
So like we are each other's coworkers.
And I've always been very transparent. If anyone asks me like what's, brands don't listen to this because I don't think I'm actually allowed to say that.
Yeah, right.
But like, or who's your lawyer or who's your accountant or how much do you pay your video editor or what did this brand pay you or like what's the exclusivity? Who's your contact at XYZ?
Yeah.
What's mine is yours.
Share it, open book. I love that. I think it's so important because a lot of people there's a lot of competition.
So weird.
And people are like weird about like sharing contacts or like anything like that. I'm like, I'm like, oh, you want to work with that brand? Here's the person.
Here's the person. Take it. I want you to work with them too.
I want to talk to you too about you don't drink alcohol. Tell me about that journey because I love to drink.
So did I. Yeah. Like I fucking love alcohol.
But tell me what sparked that.
To be very clear, I love drinking.
Yeah. You're like, I just want to make this clear.
I was always so I grew up in a house that was very alcohol forward.
Okay.
And I wanted to revisit on this topic with my mom now because she actually just stopped drinking.
Okay.
And I think it's allowed more space for me to reflect and to have the conversation.
Open dialogue.
So stay tuned. But I think that I always grew up in a very alcohol forward family. Like we were having the parties in high school. My parents were like, my mom was like buying kegs for us. And the rule was she would supply beer as long as there was no hard alcohol and everyone gave her the keys. And so we had all the ragers.
Okay.
And I was always someone who would drink, but I was never the girl that was like blackout constantly.
Party girl, yeah.
Yeah. And in college, I was always drinking, but again, I was not the friend that always needed to be taken care of. And I obviously had my moments, but you know how every group has like the one or two people that are just always.
Liability.
Yeah. And then post-college, I always loved drinking. I was never drinking to black out. And I think there's a very big difference.
For sure.
I have a few friends, we talk about this a lot, like they would never have a glass of wine to watch a show on their couch, but they would rip shots on a Saturday night to black out.
Yeah.
I was drinking every single night of the week because I loved drinking. So I'd come home from work, I'd pour a glass of wine or two, we'd like have a beer, whatever. And obviously I would still get drunk on some nights, but that was never like the intent of drinking for me. The real change was first with that accident, my concussion. I had to stop drinking. That was hard because it wasn't on my terms. And I felt like it was stripped from me. And I felt like
forced into
this whole aspect of my life being young and in the city in my 20s, it was taken from me. So I hated that. But then also I just started to notice, specifically after having a child, how deeply it impacted my mental health. Like night and day. And I remember actually the last night I drank, Emily always jokes that she like drove me into sobriety and I'm not even sober. But we were on a double date with Emily and her husband. I didn't even get that drunk. I think I had 3 or 4 drinks. And the next day I was like, fuck this. I don't want to be a mom. I don't want to deal with my child. Like stop asking me things. And I had this realization, I love being a mom. I think I'm really fucking good at it. Why am I actively doing something that's making me hate it? That takes away from
that, yeah.
And I said to Joe, I think I'm just going to take some time off alcohol. I honestly thought it was going to be a week. There was no rule, hard line. I just said, I want to step back for a sec.
And it wasn't like this dramatic thing.
At all. It wasn't like I had some big awful night. Not at all.
Yeah.
And I stepped back and I just started to feel really good. And I was like, oh, I actually really enjoyed this. And then I just never felt pulled to drink. That's like, it's kind of, I don't know. It's crazy to me.
That was when?
March 2021.
Okay, wow.
2022.
Yeah.
Because I had my son in May. Yeah. How long is that?
Like 3 years, over 3 years.
Over 3 years, yeah. Wow. So again, I don't know like the time. It's not like I have. I actually do have it on my phone.
And you're not sober because you dabble in some other things.
I love plant medicine.
Love an edible.
Love weed. Love mushrooms.
Same.
But I will say, just with alcohol, like if my friends have a drink that looks really good, I'm like, ooh, let me try it, and I take sips.
Yeah.
And specifically, like a cold draft IPA beer if we're like somewhere and Joe orders that, I'm like, give me a few sips. And then I really just don't want any more.
Yeah, you're like, I'm
so
good.
if I ever really wanted to drink, I allow myself the freedom to do it. I just haven't wanted to.
You don't put yourself on like strict limitations
No.
or give yourself a label where like if it breaks, you're like,
Well, because it's not rooted in addiction.
No.
And I think that obviously that's a different story.
Totally.
But because it's not, I'm like, yeah, I don't know.
I think it's
Do I think I'll drink again? Probably not.
I think it's good that like you talk openly about it though, and also don't like label yourself as something, because I feel like people are often very quick to label themselves.
Yes.
And do it. It's kind of like a knee jerk.
Yeah.
And I think it's good to not. You talk about it a lot though on your podcast. I want to talk about your podcast a little bit.
Well, I just want to say one note on that. Like, I've never said I'm sober because I'm not. And then people will be like, wait, you said you were sober and now you're smoking weed. And I'm like, I never
like,
said
you put that label on
I have been very clear about my love for cannabis.
Yeah, right?
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's another thing I feel very pulled to like publicly state, because there's so much stigma around cannabis, specifically rooted in racism and around moms enjoying weed.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if I am drinking this can and you're judging me, think about why.
Think about why you think that's a bad idea.
You wouldn't give two shits if this was a glass of wine. You'd be like, mommy juice.
Yeah.
Makes me
Mommy's go-go
so
juice.
angry.
Oh my God.
So
It's the branding of it all. It's the rebranding of
Literally.
it all. I love to see the cannabis industry like taking over. I think it's amazing.
Me fucking too.
I think it's great. I mean, I love popping an edible like
What's your favorite
times
brand?
a week. Do you know Natalie Benson?
Yeah. Love her.
Garden Mother.
Yeah, but I've never tried her stuff.
She just launched it.
Oh, did she?
Really great stuff.
I gotta message her.
I would also say Erin does most of the cannabis shopping for me, because sometimes you go into a store and you're like, I'm like overwhelmed. I'm like, I'm just a girl.
Camino's really good.
Okay.
The High Confectionery is like my favorite because
Confectionery.
they're just 1 milligram, but they taste delicious. So it's like snackable. So the pack is 10.
Yeah.
So you can have the whole pack.
I can do like the 5 to 10 milligrams.
Yes, you could eat the whole pack.
Yeah. Okay.
They taste, they're like candies.
Okay.
You can use code CAM20. And then
I'll put it in the description,
obviously
guys.
is my favorite.
Yeah, I need to try can because I've never tried that. Yeah, I know. I've never tried those before.
Wait a goddamn minute.
We
got to send you some. As if I'm
right.
the brand. I'm going to email my girl. No, I'm going to email my girl and be like, can you please send Hayden?
Is it a different high though than an edible?
I like the high better.
Okay.
Yeah, code Cameron.
Plug it all. Are you kidding me?
You know what's so funny? Weed and my vibrator are my top 2 affiliate links.
That's so interesting. Mine is a nose hair wax kit.
Really?
Yeah. Isn't that
Do you
bizarre?
have a male demo?
No, it's all women that are getting it for their husband.
Oh,
yeah.
That makes sense.
It's
I was men are watching your stories?
No. 99% women are my followers.
I know. I need to get my male percent down a little bit. I don't know how it got a little higher.
What is the male doing here?
Get out of here.
Let's talk about your podcast, Conversations with Cam. Tell me about it. How did you start? Well, why did you want to do a podcast?
I mean, I've been doing it. This sounds so absurd for so long. It started because Instagram capped my stories at 15 seconds.
Yeah.
And I was like, I have more
You're like, I have a lot to say. I need to say things. I need to get this
so
off
that
my
was
chest.
really how it started. I was like, I have more to say.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm surrounded by such incredible people in my life and in this industry. And I just wanted to have more conversations. I love to fucking talk.
Yeah.
My second grade teacher said I could talk to a wall if she put me next to it. And I can.
And now you do.
I do.
For a job.
And that's how it started. And then I feel like when I became, there are kind of those turning moments in your career, if you think about it. For me, definitely becoming pregnant was one of them, because I did this whole like, what the fuck is happening to my body series.
Yeah.
And that's where I engaged with a lot of new community members around pregnancy and the brutal honesty of it and not liking it like I thought it was going to be. And what the fuck is happening to my boobs and my vagina and like every other part of my body. And so we talk a lot about motherhood also on there, and just the reality of it all, the highs, the lows, the in between. And we rebranded it to Conversations with Cam 2 years ago.
Okay.
Maybe.
Something along those lines.
Could be wrong.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Ever since 2020, I can't figure out dates.
Keep time of dates, I know. Well, I just don't know math either, so it doesn't
The
help.
thing is, I'm actually very good at math, but not when any dates include 2020 and beyond. So the past 6 years, five?
Yeah.
Also, the children through, like the whole thing through it for confusing
It becomes a little more chaotic.
But what were we saying? Oh, my show. Yeah, so it's very fun.
Yeah.
It's conversational based. There's some solos. I bring in my little sister a lot. Friends, family, experts, less creators.
Yeah.
You're like like one in a few. Only a creator if I like have a relationship with them, because otherwise,
what's the conversation going to be about?
Yeah, quite honestly.
It's honest, candid conversations with people you enjoy their time.
And we do bring on a lot of experts because I speak about a lot of serious topics, and I think those expert episodes are very beneficial.
Yeah. I feel like it's really great. We're seeing a big transition of creators becoming more open about both politics, mental health, what's going on in our world. Obviously, we're living in a really crazy,
terrifying fire
time. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Have you always been open about that type of stuff too?
So,
or have you learned to be more open as when you became a mom?
I think I've always been open about that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think I cared as much. Like, that's the brutal honesty.
Yeah.
I think it's a mix of maybe I had my head under the sand for a little bit, and we live in a more terrifying world now.
Yes.
So I used to be a registered Republican.
Oh, interesting.
And I shared that like very early on. I don't remember what election I would have been talking about this. 2016 would have been the first election I had a platform. So yeah.
Okay.
But like, again, I think we all thought that 2016 was like kind of a joke. Like there was no way he was going to win. So it wasn't like I was intensely talking about it. If you can't tell, I do not like Donald Trump.
Yes,
so then
same.
I remember after the fact talking about it a little bit and being like, well, I grew up Republican. I was a registered Republican. Like I did not vote for Obama in 2012. And that breaks my heart.
Yeah.
Breaks my heart to say, but it's true. And I'll own it. And now I would literally pay my right arm to have him back.
Oh my God, same.
But I just felt way more passionate about the topic as I had
children,
as my eyes were open to a lot of things. And I think that
as we get to an age where
but also like I don't think it's the same Republican and Democrat party that we grew up with.
Yeah.
Because like, you know, not to bring my family into this, but like my family were all primarily voting Republican. It's a very different world now.
For sure.
So they have all also changed, you know? And I don't know. I just feel like very confident in my beliefs and where I stand. So I've never in a million years thought like, oh, I shouldn't share this.
Yeah, I think it's also interesting. Like you're seeing a lot of creators, their followers are more invested in who they're voting for.
100%.
Because they want to support people that support them.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
So like,
yeah,
I think it's an interesting, and this is like with the rise of TikTok, obviously, like coming in, people feel more inclined to like have access to every part of your life.
But I don't love the whole like gotcha mentality of it. Like I don't love that. You can just like, I think it's pretty obvious where people stand politically. I don't think
you need to do
it doesn't need to be this whole like, oh my God. Yeah. And then like the message of I'm unfollowing you, you can just unfollow.
Yeah.
And I'm saying
airport. You don't need to
like, you know, I got some angry Republicans sometimes in my DMs when I get on my soapbox. That's fun. Like, I unfortunately don't think I'm in a place to change your mind.
Yeah.
I wish I was. You can just leave. And I wish we didn't live in such a dividing time. And sometimes I fear like, am I adding to the division? But then I'm also like, I feel really fucking strongly about this.
Yeah, and you have to, if you.
So this is my opinion.
What is the quote? Like, if you stand for nothing, you fall for everything or something.
Literally.
So, I mean.
So I fucking stand for something.
We're on the right side of history.
I agree.
Let's end it on a positive note. I want to, or maybe two questions. One, what is your influencer ick? Because we talked a little bit about this on your podcast, but I want to know what yours is, or social media ick that you have.
Okay. Well, I think I said this to you, like completely exploiting your children.
Yeah.
An ick.
Totally.
Total ick for me.
I get that.
When people are posting naked fucking photos of their children.
Absolutely not. Miss me on that.
Like, what are you doing?
No, literally.
What are you doing? That's an ick.
Yeah, for sure.
Yelling at me. Although I've definitely done some yelling content about the political state of the world recently, but more like, you need to buy this shirt.
Yeah,
like
right.
That. Like,
no, this is what I love about this recipe.
About, like, I fucking hate this man.
Oh my God, you know what I hate is when people are like, you need to try this restaurant. Like, come with me to try that.
Like, why are you yelling at me?
No, like, I'll go if it looks good.
Like, you will never have a set better than this.
No, literally.
Okay, sorry for the listener. That was probably so annoying.
Sorry, guys. But those are some good icks.
Yeah. I don't love the like sappy relationship content.
Okay.
Personal take. As Eli Rallo says, Cringe is a victimless crime.
I love Eli.
She just came on my pod.
She's the
It
best.
comes out next week.
We went on a brand trip together. We were
for the knot?
Yeah.
Yeah. She's so fun.
Instantly fell in love with her.
Yes, she's great.
She's a real girl.
Fellow Jersey.
Yeah, we love Jersey girls.
Born different.
What do you want? Last question before I let you go. What do you want your social media legacy to be?
Oh, God.
That's a deep question. You're not into the mumbo jumbo, the deep shit, but let's get deep real quick.
Wait, what? What's your answer? What's your answer?
My answer is I just want people to like come have laughed and been entertained, and for me to like put a smile on people's face.
Like, I wish I was funny.
You are funny.
Honestly, can I get that in writing? Actually,
you are
I need
funny.
a video of this
a
to send to my group chat. No, because they are the ones that love you, and it's an ongoing joke that they think I am not funny at all.
I don't.
So I'm gonna get that in writing.
Maybe I get different levels of you, so maybe they're right.
It's more they think they're funny.
Yeah,
and
they think they're funny.
Sorry, they're not. I would love for people to feel seen. Like, I think that I just want to help as many people as I can feel seen and less alone, and like encourage everyone to show up authentically as themselves.
I like that because earlier you were saying like that's why you turned to social media, was like you were sharing these things and people were like, you felt seen from people confiding in you. So it's kind of a full circle situation.
Yeah.
We love to see
isn't
that.
it? Look at you wrapping that episode up with a bow tie.
Okay, guys. I'm getting better at this podcasting thing now that I have the pro next to me. Where can people follow you? Where can people listen to you?
Instagram and TikTok is at Cameron Oaks Rogers. And then my podcast is Conversations with Cam. We have an episode every new Wednesday. A new episode every Wednesday. And we also have an Instagram and TikTok for the show, but like that's too many handles to give you. So just
you'll follow it all. Yeah. I'll link it all in the description for you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming. Love you so much. I'll see you guys next week, and make sure you subscribe to my podcast too. Bye.